But again, I feel like if if you're young and that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
I think you should do it.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many opportunities that will come from that.
Yeah. This is the Behind the Sound podcast, where we talk to producers, engineers, artists, and other creatives alike. Hosted by Sean Gray and Manik.
Dope. Well, Albi, thank you for joining us on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you for letting me be here. My second time in Orange Lounge.
Second time.
Yeah, first time in this room.
What was the first time?
The first time was a year ago, last summer. I recorded Quavo
Sick.
and Baka.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Sick. That's an introduction to Orange
Yeah.
Lounge.
Yeah. Yeah,
And an
man.
intro to Albi too.
Yeah.
Like,
Before we dive into it,
Yeah.
just tell everybody who you are, what you do.
So I'm Albi. I'm an engineer. Sometimes produce. I have a studio in Richmond Hill where I mainly work out of. I go to a couple other studios too, but yeah, man, I'm mainly out there.
dope.
Mix and record every day.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope. Who are some
Yeah.
cool people you've worked with that we may know?
So I started out working with Pangs, 3M French. Those are like some of the first. I still work with them. Love working with them. Great guys.
Dope.
And I was working with those guys, and then about 2 years ago, I started working with Preem and like his camp, which has been really great so far. And then I work with a lot of like up and coming artists in Toronto too.
Yeah.
Lots of people that I just believe in.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Dope. Yeah, that's a list right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Fire intro. What led you here to Toronto? Because I just, from knowing you,
Yeah.
I know that you're not originally from Toronto.
No, I'm not.
Where are you from?
I was born in Germany.
Okay.
I moved here in 2016. I
Word.
came here I actually came here as a student. I did 2 years at U of T,
Nice.
and like
What did you study?
I studied music education.
Okay.
Okay.
So through that, I was working at a high school after I graduated for a bit. But while I was doing that, I was also interning at a studio in Richmond Hill.
Gotcha.
Producer, engineer, who's like my partner now, DJ Mo.
Yeah.
I was working with him, and that's how I got introduced to all those to 3M guys,
Nice.
to French and Pangs. That's kind of like where my like career took off. I came to Canada though to be a producer.
Okay.
Not thinking
So
you're gonna like
'cause-
record.
Yeah, exactly. So I came here like as wanting to be a producer,
Yeah.
chasing that dream, and because when Drake started popping off, I was like looking at the credits, like you see Boy Wonder, and you look up like where they're from, Toronto.
All from
Yeah.
Toronto.
Frank Dukes, Toronto.
Yeah.
Wonder Girl, Toronto. Murder Beats, and I'm like, damn, I gotta go there.
Yeah.
So I came here like one summer before I actually moved here, and I was like, yo, this is lit. This
Yeah.
is so much fun here. Like, I loved it. Like, the summer's great here,
Yeah.
Obviously, I was there for the winter. but yeah, man.
Got a little taste of Caribbean.
Yeah, those times, yeah. I think, and you know what the latest part was? It was that the year where Germany won the World Cup too.
Oh damn.
And
Word.
I'm German, right? So
Yeah.
I was here, and everyone was turning up
Yeah.
at Eaton Square and
That's
everything.
crazy.
Yeah. Shit was
Word.
sick.
So coming here, you already you always knew you wanted to do music growing up, or what was the start like for you growing up?
Pretty much, yeah. When I was young, I played in bands.
Really?
I was a drummer. I
Nice.
still play drums here and there.
That's sick.
How old was this?
This was when I was like, probably started when I was like in grade 5. So how old are
Word.
you then? Like
8 or 9?
9,
maybe?
yeah. Something like that.
Somewhere
Yeah.
there. Actually, no. Maybe like 9, 10.
Yeah.
Somewhere in
I
there.
think, like 9, 10, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's when I started playing drums, and I played in bands, which was like hella fun.
Was it by like
And,
choice, or was it like
No,
your
yeah, it
parents
was
put you in it?
it was by choice. I would always just like I think it started because I was always like banging on tables. You know how like
yeah.
kids do that.
Yeah.
It was a little yeah,
Table
At
drumming.
the,
yeah,
at the lunch
exactly.
table,
Yeah, exactly.
freestyling and
I
everything.
remember
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
doing that,
Yeah.
tapping
Yeah.
on their desk and shit.
And then I was like, yo, let me just try like playing drums. You know, I would go in school. You know, we'd have like a drum kit, and you know how they have it in like
Yeah.
the music room and stuff. I go play, and then yeah, I just like kind of taught myself, and then at one point I started taking lessons too.
Mm.
And then when I was in like high school, that's when I really like that's when I was like, yo, like I really got into hip hop. I didn't grow up with hip hop, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you grow up with?
Like lots of rock and
Where,
Nice.
jazz, funk. I love like those. That's like where I came from.
that's what your parents like listened to growing
My
up
dad,
around the
yeah,
house?
my dad listened to like lots of rock,
Mm.
and then all the funk and all that stuff. I kind of learned that on my own, or I found out about it on my own. You know.
Yeah.
And this was all while you were in Germany.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then later on, and then later on, I was like, yo, like rap is pretty sick.
Yeah.
I think like honestly the first, like I knew about like the Eminems in the 50s,
Yeah.
because that's what people were playing like around me when I was in primary. I mean,
Yeah.
like middle school.
Yeah.
But I really got into like rap when like the Odd Futures and like the like Tyler the Creator, and like the ASAP Rocky,
Yeah,
like those
yeah.
when I heard those sounds, you know,
Yeah.
because like especially Tyler, it reminded me a lot of like that his like raw energy reminded me a lot of like rock and roll, of like
Yeah.
you know those styles of music, and I could understand it a little bit more, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just I got Reason. Do you guys remember
Oh,
that
I hated
program?
Reason. I hated
Yeah.
Reason.
I only heard of it. I've never actually seen it.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's actually the most
Yeah.
like clunkiest
It's-
thing ever. Like
It's like a DAW? Like
It's a
game?
DAW, yeah.
It's a DAW, but like you can like program synths and drums
Yeah.
and stuff.
And at the time it was like the sickest thing because
Yeah.
they had the best like digital synths.
Yeah.
It was like
Really?
before like Omnisphere. I think maybe Omnisphere was around, but
They had like the 808 drum machine
Yeah.
in there. Like it was pretty good at the time for sure.
yeah,
but-
it was good on paper. Like it
Yeah.
looked sick too, like because it had like a mixer, like
Yeah.
same way as that. And then you could patch your synths into like weird like auxes and like create like really random sounds. It was like basically like a it was just like an open workflow. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Yeah.
kind of like it's a different approach to like a DAW. Like Albi said, you can like patch things into different things, so it made you think differently. But for a beginner, it's like
Yeah.
maybe a little bit beyond like
Yeah.
what they're capable. Can you imagine trying to like route shit in Omnisphere?
Yeah, hell no.
You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
that shit
They
ain't
would
gonna
lose
fly.
me as a customer.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it was definitely hella difficult, but I liked it. I liked that, you know, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was like a video game, you know, you try it for the first time and like you don't really know what the hell you're doing. you
Yeah.
know?
So were you more so the type to be like, oh, I'm gonna just like figure it out and just trial and error, or were you like YouTube University?
I don't know. I think I was more like trial and error because I don't really think
Nothing was
that
like,
was
out.
around. Yeah,
Nothing
like
was
this
out
was
at that
like this
time.
was like 2011.
Oh, okay, word.
Yeah, there's no like at that time there was no tutorials on YouTube about
Yeah.
music production or anything. And if it
Yeah.
was, it was like not that good.
Yeah,
But
Oh, so this is like 2011.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay, dope.
this was a while ago.
yeah, so you had Reason.
Reason, yeah, and then I don't know why, but I switched to Ableton at one point, because because Reason stopped like updating their interface, and like I don't know, they were just like slow on
Yeah.
the just like and other DAWs had cooler stuff, you know.
Yeah.
That was kind of
Like launching
Kinda
new
going on.
features.
FL was around during that
FO
time.
was around,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you hear about FL while you were over there?
I think I heard about it, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think a lot of cause in Germany, like the whole techno scene is big, and all those guys they all use Ableton.
Gotcha.
They love Ableton,
Gotcha.
and Ableton's German too. So
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
yeah.
Wow, I know
Yeah.
that.
Ableton's from Berlin. Yeah, so then I started doing that. I was making beats in that, and honestly, I did that until I came to Toronto.
Dope.
I was an Ableton kid.
So
Nice.
2011 to 2016 when you came here,
Yeah.
were you just like making beats just like for the fun
Yeah,
of
I was
it?
making-
Did you work with people in
it-
Germany?
Not really, bro. I was I actually went to university in the UK, and I studied music, like straight music.
Okay.
So I did like 2 degrees. I did a degree in the UK, and then I did a degree in Canada.
Dope.
Nice.
So I did a degree I did in the UK was just like straight music, and it was like play drums every day, learn theory, of which I forgot like so much now.
Yeah.
And just like just straight music, but I took like a couple engineering courses, like introduction to engineering. It was kind of like the program was kind of like you could kind of just do, you kind of mix match, you know what I'm saying? Like you could do
Yeah.
you could do engineering, you can do performance, and you come out with like a degree basically.
Yeah. And so I'm assuming you chose engineering.
Yeah,
at some
so
point?
I didn't really choose. I did a course in engineering like one semester,
Yeah.
but I think I didn't really like love it yet. You know what I'm saying? But what I did love there was this room that was just full of synths, like old, like I forget what it's like, an ECM synth that's like Pink Floyd used it on Dark Side of the Moon. That there's like only 20 of them or something like that, and that one was in there.
Damn.
There's just like first time like playing a Moog, you know.
Yeah.
And like I love that, you know.
Would you say that was the first time you like really felt connected to music, or do you feel like
No, I think I was connected before, but that was
Yeah.
like when I really like, I was like, damn, like this is like different than like playing drum. You can get so many sounds out of
Yeah.
just like one box, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, so I would just be in there, and because it was free too, right? It was like part of the university, so you could just go there, and like for some reason nobody was using that room, because everyone wanted to just like record their band and like studios like this, you know.
Yeah.
There were live rooms like you guys have in here,
Yeah.
and then there was like a small room, literally probably half the size of this room, and there were just like lots of synths, and I just come there and jam out, you know what I'm saying?
Like just by yourself, or
Yeah, and sometimes I'd invite some homies, but like we weren't making beats. Like we were just like recording synths and like
Patching
making
to
weird
it,
sounds.
yeah.
Yeah, they were like, you know, Eurorack, you know,
Yeah.
the Euro,
Yeah.
patching Euroracks and,
Yeah.
and just jam. Honestly,
That's crazy.
So like from like 9 years old, right?
Yeah.
To like the point that you come to Canada,
yeah.
and like everything is like music. Your parents didn't like at one point be like, "Nah, you're gonna be a doctor." You're gonna
So my parents were happy that I was doing music, but they wanted me to do something with music that's like a little more I don't know, reputable, I guess. Like I
Yeah.
think my
like what?
my mom wanted me to be like a teacher, so that's what I did when I came here. I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna go here. My plan was like to plug in with artists and like focus on beat making, and then do school as well. So I did like I said, I did a 2-year program at U of T, which was okay. I wasn't mad at it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of easy, honestly.
Like for teaching?
So yeah, it was. I don't know. I didn't think it was very demanding, to be honest. So I had time to find like an internship. You know what I'm saying?
And that's where you
Yeah.
connected with Mo.
That's where I connected with Mo. Yeah.
Wait, so how did you find Mo?
So one of my roommates that I lived with.
Yeah.
He was recording with Mo. So I used to live at like close to the university. And
Gotcha.
he lived like Spadina and Bathurst,
Yeah.
around the area.
So
And
not far from here.
yeah, he plugged me in with Mo. He's like, yo, this guy's like looking for an intern, I think. And I came up there one day, and then it was like a small studio too,
Nice.
in Richmond Hill, and we just hung out. We just kicked it, and then I would just come in and just observe sessions.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of recording here and there, and yeah.
what was that transition of wanting to be a producer to then interning for Mo and then learning engineering?
So when I met Mo, I still wanted to be a producer,
Yeah.
honestly, and he was just like, "You gotta learn how to engineer,"
Yeah.
type shit.
Yeah,
And he was like,
that's what I preach
like,
here.
yeah,
Yep.
he was
That's what I
like,
preach.
and I was like, "All right, cool."
Gotta do
And then
everything.
dude, I was just like, doing the engineering stuff, and then he had all these like other producers that were so fire, bro.
Yeah.
They were so crazy. There's this kid that would come in, and he would just have the nastiest like loops, you know what I'm saying? that I ever heard. There's our boy Puban, who's like a sick artist and writer, and he'd just be crazy on the keys, and I'm like, damn, I don't even know if I want to do this right now. And then kind of at that time too, I figured out that the engineering stuff actually was good. I was happy doing it, I enjoyed it, and I started getting into it more. I was reading more. I was reading on Gearspace and just watching YouTube videos, and I just got into it more and more and more and more, and just started understanding more.
What do you think was that one thing that like sparked that curiosity or that fascination for engineering? Can you like pinpoint it to like one thing or maybe an event?
I don't think it was an event, but it was definitely that time, and also realizing that my beats weren't that good, you know, like kind of.
You're like, okay, I gotta pivot.
How did you come to that realization?
Just being in sessions and just seeing how these guys produce, and how like it's just gonna take me so much longer. Plus, there were like literally 4 producers that were in that studio all the time. You know what I'm saying? So. And there was only Mo was the only engineer, and then now I was the engineer too. So I was like, and I had to work, I had to make money too. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna engineer now, you know. And then it was only like a lot later that I really got kind of back into production a little bit.
Do you like regret not, keeping up with production at that time, or
not really? Because I think if I did, then I wouldn't have been.
Where you
as
are.
good as an engineer. And I think I really believe in that like focusing on one thing at a time is like will get you where you want to be.
Yeah, I'm a believer of that too. It's like, I think for me personally, and especially when I was younger and growing up, I remember trying everything, bro. I like, I've done everything from playing video games to recording video games to like wanting to like do the whole YouTube thing to just everything, and like really diving into all kinds of like skateboarding, everything. You're right though, it's nice when you're a kid and like when you're growing up, because you have that experimentation, and then you start that play, just having fun and playing with things. And I think it's great because you start figuring out what you actually like and like doing and enjoy doing, and what eventually it creates that spark where you're like, okay, I actually want to double down on this thing.
Yeah, and that's so great. Like in those years, especially like your late teens, early 20s, like that's when I think you still have time to do that. And just kind of figure out what it is that you actually want to do. Yeah, and then just you'll know when you know.
Yeah, exactly. So it was that at that point where like,
and I was like, yo, I really want to do this. I was still going to school, and I was actually, and then even after I finished school, I was still, I actually had a teaching job, like in downtown. I did both, like for a long period. Well, it felt long because it was just crazy. Like I had to get up at 5 a.m. to go to school. Yeah. And it was sick because I was like a supply teacher, right?
Word.
So, and I was super young too, so all the kids like loved me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was about to say, you must have been a cool ass teacher.
I was just chilling there, and I work with rappers too. They're like, would ask me, they'd be like, yo, get me this guy's autograph, like, or not autograph, but like snap or whatever, like get a snap with him, blah blah.
Wait, what grade was this?
This was like, honestly, any like it was high school, so like 9 to 12.
Oh, that's
and they just call you certain days when like like a teacher was
Yeah.
off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So and then you'd fill in for that teacher's like whole day,
Yeah.
kind of. So I did that, but it got too much at one point where it was just because I would go home and then I would record or mix, and then I'd go to sleep at like, I don't know, 2 and I'd or 1 if I'm lucky, and then wake up at 5. Yeah. It was just like I did it for a while. I did it for a couple months, and then I couldn't do it.
I think everyone needs to go through that though.
Yeah.
You got to go through that fucking hustle, man. Yeah. You have to.
I think that's the breaking point hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everybody has to go through that point because that's the point of if you get past this, then you know you're doing what you want to do for it.
I mean, I still go through it. Where like,
you still work too. I'm like, I'm crying to this guy about working 2 jobs and this.
No. I mean, like, it's like I find a lot of value in it because I only have so much time in my day and throughout my week. So it really makes me like hunker down on like, okay, these things, they need to fucking get done. I need to take care of my body. I need to take care of my health. Yeah. So I'll have to do these things. These clients need to be taken care of. I need to make sure that I'm going to work. Yeah. All that. Yeah. So there's a lot of value in that. And like I lose sleep, but I show up like as a much better person when I am doing those things, regardless of how the lack of sleep that I'm getting. But I think it's super important to like, everyone has to like
go through that
hustle and like show some adversity. You know?
I feel like that will literally, because if you hate your day job, which honestly I didn't, but like I know some people do, they hate their day job and they just want to do the other job. Yeah. Then they'll push the other job so hard that they'll be able to get rid of the old job. You know? Yeah. I mean the day job. Yeah,
for sure. Like for myself, it's like I hate it, but I still see value in it. Yeah. And I appreciate it. Yeah. Because it does provide me stability, which it's good. Yeah. But I don't have that longing to like, I don't like wake up and get excited to go to work. Yeah. I wake up and I get excited I want to mix. I want to call my homies. I want to talk about business. I want to talk about fucking music, like that's the shit that I get excited about. Not, okay, I gotta sit in traffic for a couple hours and go sit on a forklift or whatever. Let's go back to you working with Mo, because we started connecting through Beat Cave. Yeah, I think it was that first event.
Yeah, where we were both like hired
for the camp.
Yeah, for the camp.
Was it the first camp or was it the second one? I think it was the first camp.
I don't know.
Is this the same time you met Ben?
I met Ben before I met Albi. But yeah, roughly it's the same.
Yeah, like 2019.
Yeah, word. 2019 was like, a big fucking year.
Big year, big year. Yeah, like, yeah, for me too.
Yeah, 2019 was like, that's where I established like a lot of relationships for sure.
BK was the place to do that for sure.
Yeah, like, and shout out to Keegan for that. Shout out Keegan, Amber, Jerome. Yeah, for putting on those events, because that it really connected us people in the city. And for myself, I didn't really know anybody, so it was a great way for me to like start establishing some relationships. We started connecting over like through Beat Cave, and I saw like, yo, this guy, like, he's into engineering. Yeah. And I saw that you were like built your own panels and you had like some nice room, and you were into gear and stuff. Yeah. So have you built other studios with Mo?
So yeah, good question. Okay, so I was interning at that studio, whatever. Yeah. Then at one point I was like working there with him, and then we kind of decided, because the studio was too small. So we were like, damn, we need to get a bigger place. Yeah. So we were like, okay, well, I think we were like 4 guys, and we were like, okay, let's get a house and let's build studios in there. At first, genius idea. Yeah. We could talk about it later, but in the end, maybe not so much. But yeah, it was. So we got a house in Markham. Yeah. We built 3 studios in there. We had 2 in the ground floor and 1 in the basement, which was my room. Yeah. And yeah, we basically just built 3 studios from scratch. We had a guy that like helped us out. We didn't actually build the panels, but we got them. But we built like we actually like my room. I built like a wall, I isolated it, insulated it. I mean,
Double wall or no?
No,
No,
no, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't really like that.
but
a
still
dope room.
Yeah, I remember that room.
Yeah, that room sounded great.
Yeah,
honestly,
I love that
for
room.
what it was. And yeah, so that was basically our spot from like 2019 to 2021, 2018, 2018. Sorry, 2018. So for like 3 years we were there.
Did you have other studios before that though that you had built?
No.
Like
I personally have it. That was my first. That was like my first like own studio.
Got you.
And that was when I was like I was saying, when I was going to the schools and everything.
Yeah.
So I was like going from Markham to downtown basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like it was my first own room that I treated
running.
myself, that I built myself. All the
Nice.
gear was mine, you know.
So take us to what then led you to get your new spot now, at that facility.
That just the house just got too hot like during COVID.
Yeah.
It was just too much, man, and like there were so many people there all the time. It was always dirty, and just like living there wasn't like
That's
like
crazy.
fun, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's the part I forgot to mention. So we were living on the top floor.
Okay.
And then on the ground floor and the basement were studios.
Mm-hmm.
And it was honestly, bro, it was great, and it brought out so many
Like
dope musicians. And just we had like songwriting camps there, because it was like a sick vibe. Like everyone was chilling in the kitchen. We had a pool. We had a backyard barbecue. Summer was lit, you know.
Yeah.
It was so much fun, and I do not regret it at all.
Yeah.
Even though it was really tough at sometimes.
like hectic.
Yeah, it was like you were there, bro.
Yeah.
Like there were 3 different, and it was the rooms were treated, but there was so much bleed. Like it wasn't treated like a studios, you know.
Yeah.
So the walls weren't thick. So they were like, a guy was like making a beat in one room, then there was like a recording session in the other room, and then downstairs I was mixing. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like 3 songs going at the
It
same
was
time.
all bleeding into each other.
It was honestly, it was okay, but it was like, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Did you guys
it
get
wasn't
like
ideal.
noise complaints?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had actually we had some cool neighbors, some not so much. We had this couple that like lived across from us.
Yeah.
They were like just the
Fucking-
coolest people ever.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like, they had
Shout out to them.
shout out to them. 2 little kids. They'd always play ball in the like outside their house, you know,
Yeah.
and like some of our clients would go and like play with them and shit.
Yo,
It
that's
was
actually
hella
sick.
fun.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, bro.
It's nice when you can like involve the community that
Exactly.
way.
Yeah. And then others, I think that they weren't that happy
Yeah.
about us, but
But yeah, so you moved out of there just 'cause it
yeah,
got
so
too-
it just got it just got too much, and we kind of just wanted, at the end it was only like me and Mo that were the only ones that kind of stuck around.
yeah.
And then we were like, yo, honestly, it's just too much. And then, but actually at the same time, we were already, our boy who used to be our intern at one point, he had already like built a studio. So he just got like a warehouse,
Yeah.
and he literally just built it from the ground up, you know?
Yeah.
Really, really great build by a guy called Chris. Dope designer.
Dope.
And yeah, he built it all. We have 3 rooms in there. We have like a main studio, that we got mains. We got a B room and a like a little production.
Yeah.
That's your studio right now?
Yeah, that's my studio right now.
the B room.
You've never been there, right?
No, I've actually never been there.
Sean's been there.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Yeah.
It's
So
fire.
did you go to that studio from that crib one?
From the crib,
Yeah.
the crib we went to. The studio's called Blue Moon.
Mm.
So
Dope.
from the crib we moved to Blue Moon. And yeah,
Where's
I'm
Blue
there
Moon
right
at?
now. Richmond Hill. too.
Okay,
Yeah.
dope.
Do you so just kind of going back to you in the house, did you find like a lot of I think you did mention like you found like a lot of value in kind of like living where you work,
Yeah.
basically?
It's a big, and especially if you're starting out as a creative, you know, paying rent for a studio and your home is kind of tough.
Yeah.
So it was dope because you literally
live
had
there,
one, one bill to pay.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was that was like great, having that financial burden
Yeah.
a little bit reduced at least.
Yeah. And like creatively though, because you're like
yes,
always engulfed in
exactly. So music is always around you, and bro, we were going like ham those days. We had like this was the time too when like beginning of COVID when Preem actually like came into that space. And yeah, he would do writing camps there. He would work with all of us at this like simultaneously. We had 3 rooms.
Yeah.
All 3 rooms jumping.
That's dope.
And yeah, so it's great for that, for creatives to meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about on the flip side though? Do you find that it was like kind of hectic, but do you think that it's good to separate, work and home life?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I know that now, that it's like I value that so much that I can just leave the studio and like go home.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not home for long, but
leave
it's just man. It's
better. Leave work
so
at
much
work
better.
and
exactly.
When you go home, you're there to be at home. And
exactly. But again, I feel like if if you're young and that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
I think you should do it.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many opportunities that will come from that.
Yeah. I mean, granted, like just from your experience, like it built some pretty solid relationships.
Yeah.
So
sure.
You're at Blue Moon.
Yeah.
What has happened so far at Blue Moon? So you built your own room there. Tell us a little bit about Blue Moon and what that's been like so far.
It's been cool, man. I didn't build the room. I just put the gear in. But it's been cool there too. I've been able to just like focus in on my mixing a lot more.
Nice.
And just like getting a really, really, really good room. The house was great, and like my room sounded good, but it's nothing compared to what I have now.
Yeah.
And just just focusing on that really.
Nice. And you're still recording?
Still recording, yeah. No, I still record quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I want to do more mixing.
Yeah.
But,
me too.
Yeah. But I am doing more mixing. It's not I'm definitely doing more mixing than I'm doing recording, but
dope.
Yeah.
How come?
I like the flexibility of just being on my own schedule, doing whatever I want.
Yeah, don't have to like rely on anybody.
Exactly. Don't have to wait for anyone or.
I mean, depends how you look at it, but yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I find like mixing is like a time for me to like play and like find new plugins and learn. And whereas like recording, you have to be very conscious of being in the session, and there's not like a whole lot you can. I just find there's a lot more experimentation that can be done when you're mixing.
Yeah, I agree. I think just having your own time to try stuff out and not anyone like hovering over your shoulder.
Yeah.
And you're like
telling you
constrained for time. Yeah, or that, yeah. Or like being constrained for time. You can just do whatever you want, try it out, and then next day if you listen to it, you don't like it, you just undo it.
Yeah. So what really got you into mixing?
I don't know, bro. It's a great question.
What was that record that you heard and you're like, shit, that's a good mix, if you even knew what that meant at that time?
I really liked a lot of the like Kanye West's mixes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really liked
like which records?
Like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
Mix was great. And then honestly which is like still one of my favorite albums of all time is Yeezus. That's like literally, it's like all Mike Dean basically.
Yeah.
Like from production to mixing.
Yeah.
Or a lot of it, not all of it, but
a lot of it.
Yeah. Like it has his like sonic imprint.
Yeah.
All over it.
Yeah.
and I was like, yo, this is pretty sick. But I don't know, I never really like try and like replicate that in my own mixes.
Yeah.
Because no one really like goes for that sound.
Yeah.
But it was interesting, to me at that time. I heard
Gotcha.
it.
What was the first song that you mixed then that you're like, what was the first time you got hired to mix and like?
So funnily enough, the first song that I think the first like actual song that I mixed and it came out was Griselda Blanco.
Yo, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. That's like my second week of interning.
That's crazy.
That song like
And
came up
and y'all just went gold.
platinum. Yeah.
Jeez.
So that was pretty.
This
that was
is
pretty
by
crazy.
who? By who?
Pangs.
Yes.
Pangs
okay.
and Tutu.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
That's
Is that-
crazy.
Is that RIA platinum or
Canadian.
Canadian
Yeah,
platinum?
Canadian.
Dope.
Yeah.
That's so huge.
Wild.
Yeah. So that I did that in.
Did you record that too?
I recorded parts of it. They
Yeah.
recorded, I think, the main vocals at another studio, and then we did some ad libs, and I think Tutu's verse. I think we did too.
Nice.
I'm not too sure, but yeah. So
and you also got to mix that?
so I mixed it. I like my credit on it is assistant. But I mixed it a little bit, and then honestly molded the majority of it because I was just so new to it,
Yeah.
But I like prepared it, and I did like a 1-2 on it.
Nice.
It's
dope.
mainly him because I was just not experienced enough, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But
Sorry, have you had any other major credits since?
I just produced a song for Chris Brown and Jack Harlow
Damn.
Dope.
in called Psychic.
Yeah, on the Breezy
it's
album.
on the Breezy album, yeah.
That's dope.
That was pretty dope too.
What's so for people who don't know, what is a ref?
So like a ref is, I guess, a idea or sometimes a full song that is like sent to artists, and they base their songs around it. They take sometimes flows, melodies,
Lyrics.
Yeah, lyrics.
And then make it into their own, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Make it into their own
What did you actually get credited for?
production.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
sick.
my first major production credit, and it's sick too because we've been doing refs for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember because we talk
Yeah.
outside of this podcast too, but we've been doing, and we've had a lot of close calls with like a lot of big artists too.
Yeah. But this one stuck.
And this one stuck.
Well,
and,
congrats, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And
huge.
we've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like, all those long hours, all those
Facts.
fucking late night sessions. Like that's what we do this for is like
Exactly.
to get that big placement.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
to get that achievement.
And you guys too, man. Congrats on the 2C record.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro.
That shit's huge, man.
Yeah,
Fucking
appreciate
sounds
you.
amazing. Production's
Thank
on
you.
point. The mix, obviously.
I'm
it's
actually
fire.
I actually filmed the whole mix breakdown for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When are you putting that out?
I'm putting it out soon. I can't disclose
Oh.
the vocal chain, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay.
But all the
vocal chains or just portions?
I didn't mix, so I didn't actually like mix Tusi's verse. I just popped it in.
Oh, okay. So like it was like a printed wave.
Well, they gave me the raw, and then we ended up just waiting for his engineer to mix it,
Yeah.
and then that was it. The only thing I added to it was just a verb throw towards the end of his verse.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did a whole mix breakdown for that, and that's gonna come out soon. I don't know
Okay.
when exactly, but yeah, just me kind of running through the whole thing.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's-
YouTube channel coming soon.
yeah,
Yeah.
YouTube channel coming soon. YouTube
Yeah, man.
channel.
What's
Yo,
it gonna be called?
Big up.
Gravy mixes.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Big up again on this podcast, yo. Like
Yeah.
this stuff is what we need, I think.
Yeah.
For this community.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like shining light, on the people behind
behind the sound.
Behind the sound, yeah.
It's
Behind the
exactly.
sound.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. You know,
Because what is it behind? That's what you're behind the sound. That's what it's called,
sound,
right?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm out here. I don't even know what it's called.
But yeah, I think like the response has been pretty good so far. And
Yeah.
I think like next steps for us is to right now I'm really focused on like how can we organically keep growing this thing.
Yeah.
You know, how can we get it to the right people that need to hear it? You know, how can we show up better and more prepared and, you know, give good messaging that people will take really well and learn from.
Yeah.
Just trying to provide value to everybody that comes across.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's been good. Like even like a lot of everyone that we've had on so far, they've all really enjoyed just kind of like reflecting on their like success or their career. It's been, they're like, damn, I didn't even like think about it that way.
Yeah.
Or like taking that moment, they're like, oh, dude, that was actually so good. And you know, it's been really fun. So you know, I'm looking forward to like keep doing this. So, yeah.
No, you guys should, man. It's great.
Like just looking at the whole Toronto scene, right? Like musically and like creatively and everything like that, right? How do you see it progressing, like from here? Because it seems like if you've been here since 2016, right?
Yeah.
You're about like, and you started the internship like within the first 2 years coming here. That means you've been in the game for like 4 or 5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
How was it when you started?
Yeah.
In comparison to now, and then where do you see it going?
I mean, I came arguably I came to Toronto arguably during like the best time. Like that, like summer 16 was like, a lot of people say it was like
the best
just
summer.
the best summer, you know.
Yeah.
Sick music was dropping those times.
2016, 2017.
Yeah, 2017. Yeah, that's when all a lot of people popped up on the scene, the Toronto scene.
Yeah.
Who are some of the hottest people like at that time outside of like obviously Drake and them?
Well, obviously Drake, Nav was coming out. Didn't Nav pop up?
Yeah,
those
Nav
times?
was coming up at that time.
And and in America too, like Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Like started taking off.
Like I think
days
even
before Rodeo.
Yeah, I think like producers were getting a lot of, you know, they were getting showcased a lot too, like Wonder Girl and like her sound and her production was like being really highlighted.
Exactly.
There's a lot of fucking dope records. 2016, 2017.
They were for sure. That was like the time I feel like when everybody started knowing, even worldwide, like started knowing about the Toronto sound, you know, the sound that we have, and like, just like even just Drake's been popping off here for so long, but like even overseas, I feel like his sound really like solidified. You know, people knew about him, but I think he really like solidified his in those years. You know what I'm saying? Like, that time was when he really people were really paying attention to him overseas.
And so how is that in comparison to like the industry now, or like the scene, the music scene in Toronto?
I don't know. Now, man, I feel like it's kind of all over the place. I feel like we're kind of finding ourselves now. There's still like lots of cool music coming out, I think, but I think right now we're trying to sound a little bit more like the sound in the States, which is good in a way, bad in another way. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for what's next for sure.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see where the sound is going.
I think, I don't know about you, like I love trap music, but I can only listen to it for like so long. Yeah. Personally, like I need more flavors in my, like when I'm listening to music. Like I have a pretty wide, like my palette is pretty big when it comes to music. So I don't know. I think trap is like, I don't know. What do you think it's going? Do you think it's kind of like taking a step back?
It's gonna be interesting. I think I don't think anything is gonna replace the 808. Yeah. Because until we find something that's harder than the 808, I don't think anything's gonna replace it. So I think it's gonna kind of stick around.
Yeah, like the sub.
Like the sub heavy sound. because you can't just like go back to like not having it. Like if you look at how music, like the low end of music has like progressed, it's just always just gone more.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I think at some point we kind of like, we still had it, but then like we had sub. Maybe not like an 808 sound, but we had sub.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking of like back in like the 60s, like some of the jazz records coming out at that time.
Yeah.
Like that had sub.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like an 808.
Yeah.
Like we had bass guitar.
Yeah.
But like then rock music like started kind of like taking over.
Yeah.
And like it was all about the guitars and the vocals.
Yeah.
It was not about
the mid range.
The bass. It was all about mid.
Yeah. I mean, think too, and like if you look back, like the sub's been around, like Jamaican dub, for example.
Yeah.
Lots of sub.
Yeah.
But it's just not. It doesn't have that knock that like the 808 has, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't have like that transient of the speaker.
Yeah.
Or of the note. I can't remember who was telling me about it, how they actually make an 808 sound.
How do they make it?
They so what it is, it's a sine wave. Like the original 808 sound comes from what's a sine wave, but it's pitched up a lot higher. And then what happens is that you tune it downwards really fast. And that's where you get that.
Oh yeah.
So that's where the sub 808 comes from originally. And then all the different iterations of that have come since.
That makes so much sense.
If there's anybody I know that would know that fact, it's you.
It's Sean, yeah, for sure.
I'm like, what?
And yo, that's
but it totally makes sense though.
Yeah. It does, 100%.
Yeah.
Because even if you look at the waveform itself, you know, but what I'm curious about is like, where does that transient come from? I don't know. That's where I like start getting like, that's where my fascination goes to.
Yeah. Nah, man, you have like your, like, I feel like your approach to engineering is like, so it's quite a bit different from mine, but I'm like very inspired from you because you're so into the whole Stream Deck shit. Like, you really put me on that, bro. I gotta give you your flowers for that.
Yo, to be honest, though,
and just like you know, just simplifying workflows and like the thing you were telling me about, like the kick and the 808. I can't remember what. I don't know if you want to say that on here, if that's like
dude,
that's like a secret, but like the thing that you do with the with the automation, you know, like
I wrote a whole Apple script on that.
Oh yeah.
So like, and so Anthony gave me this keyboard Maestro shortcut.
Yeah.
And we got inspired by Jason Joshua.
Yeah.
You know, so by using a trim plugin or any volume automation at the like last plugin, you can do volume automation or a trim plugin or whatever plugin, but something that just controls volume, your final output, and just drawing in your automation.
Yeah.
So what I do is Jason Joshua did it on his like mix with the masters, and he explained the whole thing, and it's because there's less phase, you're not side chaining, right? So it's a lot cleaner. Yeah. And you're literally just ducking the bass for that second or those few milliseconds so you can hear the actual kick transient, and then the bass comes back in and you can draw it opposed to relying on a compressor. So there's less phase and you have way more control, right? So Anthony gave us this, he created this keyboard Maestro shortcut. And then what I ended up doing is I took that and then I wrote an Apple script to then what the keyboard Maestro could do, it couldn't like read the transient. So it didn't know when to duck the bass. It would only just like repeat what you had copied and pasted. So what this script does, it's smart enough to read the last kick transient and it knows when to stop. So once what it does, it reads a kick transient and then it goes up, it ducks the bass to whatever your automation settings were. Yeah. Right. So, and then it goes to the tabs to transient to the next one and then ducks it. Yeah. And there's also some, we built it in a way so you can't fuck it up. Because otherwise, like you could break something, like you could be automating the wrong thing, or just it wouldn't work properly. So like there's some steps in there in the Apple script that we put in there to avoid that, avoid those problems. But yeah, just like very simplifying like workflow.
That's dope, man. I love that kind of stuff. Like, and it's because it's not, and it's so like, I don't know. I feel like it goes over people's heads because it's not really mixing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's part of mixing, but it's not like you're not EQing or compressing.
It's like editing, but the way I see it is just like I'm mixing, and what I've done is I've taken this task that could have taken me maybe not 5 minutes, but a few minutes to do, and now it's done in less than a minute.
So a couple seconds.
Without you even doing anything too.
Well, like you know, there's a few steps that I need to take to get there. But
how long does it actually take to render? Like,
man,
10 seconds?
It's like it would depend. It
depends how long the song.
Yeah, it depends how long the song is. The kick transient, how many kicks are there.
Yeah.
If there's only 50 kicks throughout the whole song, like kick hits, individual kick hits, it's done after that. But if there's only a few, like you only have like the last hook, whatever, it's done in 2 seconds. I might not even run the script, but anyway. And like with the sound flow, I barely use it anymore. I don't know why. I'm not really using it. I've used the Stream Deck to like launch my Keyboard Maestro stuff. To like launch this automation.
So you use this, but you use the Stream Deck. You just don't use SoundFlow. I mean, you just don't use SoundFlow.
I'm still using SoundFlow, but only for like stuff I don't want to like think too much about. But when it comes to like choosing plugins, if I'm like building a vocal chain, I'm typing it in and searching opposed to like playing around with it. I don't know. It's just a lot easier.
It is, yeah.
But when it comes to like editing stuff, like if I'm editing vocals or I'm editing whatever, like editing breaths, all that shit I have.
That's what I do too. Like I use it for, like mainly for, like RX stuff. You know, just click, it renders it.
Boom, yeah.
And then I do use it for the plugins, but what I do is I put plugins in there, like on the Stream Deck, that I usually don't use or that I might forget about. You know,
that's a good way to use it.
I use it for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good way.
Because there's a lot of plugins that are like sick, but they're not really like my go-tos. You know, and then it'll just inspire me to just try something else.
Yo, that's actually cool. That's like not a bad way to think about it, because like we have all these plugins, but I'm sure like there's plugins that like I haven't even touched.
Yeah,
I think I should do that.
Yeah,
find plugins that I want to try and put them there.
It's like the Isotope stuff that like I got it, and I really mainly just got it for the limiter, and for the exciter. And then obviously I was talking to you, to you two, and you put me on a couple of different ones. You put me on the what do you use? Transient?
I use the Neutron, the transient designer or transient shaper. That thing's fucking gold.
Yeah.
I used that actually for the first time.
Yo, it's like so good.
A couple days ago.
It's so good.
Yeah, no, it's fire.
Yeah.
The transient is fire, yeah. Yo, I had a hi-hat where the sample, this was actually yesterday, where this hi-hat sample had like a like that the click on the end.
Yeah.
Like not the but like the that one. Yeah. And it had it on every hi-hat because they didn't chop it properly. You know how you have to like chop it, I guess?
Yeah.
You could just go in the thing,
take the
sustain down.
Done.
It was gone.
Instead of editing the whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love the transient stuff. The vintage EQ.
Yeah, vintage EQ is fire.
So good. It's like Pultec style.
Vintage limiter is kind of sick too.
I haven't used that much.
You haven't used that much?
Oh. I use it.
Yeah.
As a gain staging thing though. That's it. Not anything else though. I don't like actually use it, but I've been told it's like really fucking good.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I've been playing with Fire the Clip.
No, what is that?
It's an Acoustica Clipper plugin.
Is it like similar to the Mike Dean plugin? Like is it like a similar?
It's just one knob.
Gain station?
No, it's different. It's just one knob, and all it does is clipping.
Oh.
So it's just volume, and I find it doesn't give me that like. It's a lot more transparent clipping opposed to like. Because I used to use the T-Rax. I go back and forth because I'm still like trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But there's 3 that I'm like back and forth with right now. Is the Boz clipper,
the
big clipper, the T-Rax, and then that one, Fire the Clip.
Yeah. So the T-Rax one is dope.
Yeah.
I use that one a lot. Have you tried the Apogee one?
No.
The Apogee one is pretty interesting too, because it's not like a clipper. It's more like it's like a converter clip. Like it's weird. It's a weird one.
Yo, you try the acoustical one.
Yeah, but I'll try it.
It's like they have like different algorithms.
You still use K-clip?
No. No, I used to.
Yeah.
Nah, I kind of got away from it.
Yeah.
I still use True Iron though.
Yeah, True Iron is though. And think you know why I stopped using K-clip? Because they changed the interface.
Really?
Did you see their new interface?
No.
Bro, they made it like L2. Like it looks exactly like L2, but it's like a really bad version of it.
Damn, that's lame.
Like, bro, after the podcast, you have to look it up.
I'll look at it.
It's like, and that's why I stopped using it, because it was so like it still sounds good.
Yeah,
but it's just they just fucked up the interface.
You big on Waves plugins?
Not really, to be honest.
Yeah.
I use a couple.
Yeah.
L1 honestly is like my favorite limiter. I use it on every master. Not as my final limiter, but I use it. Like,
what have you been using?
A lot of waves.
Waves?
That's why I asked you.
Yeah, just a bunch of waves.
What do you use?
I'm like a very simple person. Like I'll probably use like CLA. Sometimes I'll do 2A, sometimes I'll do 3A. Like just here and there.
Yeah.
Because I do a lot more recording than mixing.
Yeah.
So like a lot of it's just like what's quick and easy.
Exactly.
Easy to get to.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Good on the processing too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll use like CLA 2A, and then I'll have like I'll either use like I'll have like Pro Q obviously, and then I'll have like the mag.
Yeah.
The mag
is the sauce.
mag is like my favorite thing ever.
The mag has like every band that you possibly need.
Yes.
And it works on like almost everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how simple like my shit is.
Yeah.
And then like everything after that is just like if somebody wants effects and stuff.
Yeah.
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 What's your approach to like sound effects and like, you know, when you do reverb throws and stuff like that? Not like auxes, but like nothing that's like static, but more like ad libs and like special moments, I guess.
What like how do I decide where I want to put a reverb through?
Or like
I duplicate.
Yeah, duplicate the like
I duplicate the main and then whatever. Not sometimes it might be an ad lib, and then I just put it in like a wet track basically.
Gotcha. So what I've done is as soon as my lead vocal chain is done, I'll like commit it and then take that because then I have the stereo of it, and then I will dupe the track and then start playing with like throws. But then I have like I'm not taking my mono signal that's unprocessed going to the vocal chain. I have the fully processed vocal chain, and then it's hitting my wet effects. Yeah. Like throws.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. I see what
so doing it after instead of before, because there's it doesn't have the processing on it. So sometimes there's like way too much low end in the vocal, and then I have to like cut that shit right out or whatever. So it's just a lot easier to work with.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Just commit the vocal
How quick is that whole process though?
Oh, I mean,
it's like really quick.
I mean, you know, if I'm in a good spot and I'm confident in the mix, and this is where I am in the process where I'm like, okay, it's time to like start playing with like throws and stuff. Then I'll commit the vocal chain.
Yeah.
Would you do that in a recording process though? While you're recording?
Yeah, you see me do it.
Yeah,
you see me do it. Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know. Yeah, sometimes that's just cool in recording sessions, and like you don't. It's better to do it there because you just get the artist reaction. And you know they'll like it because they'll bump the demo like 1,000 times.
Exactly, and then if I make any changes to the vocal chain, like it's not too far away from where we left off in the recording, so it's not that far. Yeah, it's not that far off.
Do you still go out like outside of the box for your like, you know how you used to do like a reverb or like a chorus or something? You used to go out. You still do that?
I have a no.
Like you used to.
I have that TC 1210.
Yeah.
Spatial expander.
Yeah.
It's cool.
This is like hardware.
It's not actual hardware. It just has. It's just a controller.
Oh,
it's super cool. It sounds really good. the thing that I found it really dope on is guitars, acoustic guitars especially, and acoustic guitars and vocals. But lately I'm like, okay, I'm trying to be a little bit more mobile now. So I'm trying to I'm actually thinking about getting rid of it so I don't have to rely on it. So I can open up a session without needing it or having to commit to it. So, but for that spatial expanding effect now, it's that H3000 from some Eventide.
Oh, I like the plug-in, right?
Yeah, it's so good, so dude. Fire. So good.
I use it on Jonah's tape. I used it. Jonah Z. We never really talked about him.
Oh yeah. We could talk about it.
That's anyway, I used it all over his tape, on backings and stuff. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
On background vocals.
It helps set them apart from the lead really well.
Yeah. There's some sick background vocals presets too that sometimes they don't work, but if you tweak them a little bit, they come out pretty far. One of my artists, he's my main artist that's not really a rapper. He's a singer, Jonah.
Yeah.
He's putting out an album.
Nice.
Okay.
End of next month. So I just finished it. Sean's always one of the first people to hear it.
Yeah.
Give me critique on my mixes.
So good.
He's the guy to have critique.
Yeah, for sure. No, he is for sure the guy.
He'll be like,
yeah.
It could be better.
I mean, I just try not to I don't know.
Yeah, it's needed. It's needed. Yeah.
And he's dropping his album, and then honestly, I'm gonna leave the city for a bit.
Nice.
I'm gonna our boy Puban, who's he's a Persian superstar.
Yeah.
He just had his first show in Toronto, or his first show, but it was his first show ever. And he's doing a show in Turkey, so I'm going to Turkey with him.
Nice.
Jeez.
Next.
When's that?
Next end of next month.
You ever been there?
No, man, I've never been.
Jeez.
I'm going there for 2 weeks. I'm doing his live sound.
Sick. Have you done that before?
Well, yeah, for his show 2 weeks ago. That was here.
It's a whole different beast.
Yeah. Oh, bro, it's nothing like studio.
Yeah.
Bro, I was standing there. I'm like, yo, it's you can't hear any in the beginning when you do sound check, you can't hear anything because all you hear is a reverb.
Yeah.
And they're able to tell somehow how.
Because
I had no idea what was going on.
It's when those bodies fill in the floor, it starts absorbing all the sound.
Exactly,
right?
And then when people were in, I was like, oh, okay, I got this.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
It was a lot easier.
Yeah, it was a lot easier.
Huh.
How did you learn getting into that?
I didn't, bro. I just it's kind of similar to studio. Just make sure there's no feedback and everything. You can hear the vocals. Everything is clear. That's kind of like mixing,
it's ear
right?
training.
Yeah,
it's the ear training.
Yeah,
really.
It's kind of like mixing, bro. It's people ask me yo, how do you do this? It's you just know where things is where the vocals are supposed to sit, and you just make them sit there, and then you just take different, take different approaches to get it to be like that.
Yeah.
It's how it's supposed to be right, quote unquote.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
How did you train your ears? What were some of the learning tools and techniques?
Bro, I watched honestly, I had 2020 when COVID started. I think I had a big my mixes I think improved a lot.
Yeah.
And COVID? On top of that, because I had so much time to just watch videos.
Yeah.
Learn lots of things.
Yeah.
And just I was on Gearspace all the time, just trying to reverse engineer all these big songs.
Yeah.
Or just the sound,
Yeah.
the dragon that we're all chasing, And just working on that, and then I think just having my own room, I think that's where I don't know. I know about you because you just built a studio, not just, but a couple 2 years ago or a year ago.
Yeah, it was roughly 2 years ago. I moved back into I moved back home. Yeah, and built my room in my basement.
Room, exactly. Yeah. So I think that
way different.
Yeah, I'm sure that helped you a lot too. No.
Oh, dude, it's not the most ideal thing, but taking the time to study acoustics, over the last like 5-6 years, through everything that I've learned, building that little room there, I've gotten it to sound really good. But but that was just through trial and error. Different speakers and different positions, and just thinking logistically how it's all going to work.
That's what it is, man. Just trial and error and just learning the room, bro. I feel like you can mix in almost any room if you learn the room. And like, that's why sometimes I go into rooms, I'm like, bro, how can you get things to sound right in here? Or like sometimes, and like the person like will do fire mixes,
You're like, how the fuck?
Literally.
The mixing on like HSA, on like in a crappy room. You're like, how the hell does that sound so good?
Yeah, man, for sure.
Because I think it's more like of a feeling thing at the end of the day. That's what it is.
And like ear training for sure too.
That's a big key of it.
But thank you for coming on to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, y'all. I'm sure I'm gonna be invited back. Let's see how the numbers are doing on my episode. I think, bro, it's like, like I said, it's great what you guys are doing for the community, and
thanks.
For sure.
I might,
tell the people where they can find you at.
It's actually like every social is Albi DDHK, ALBI, 2Ds HK.
What's the DDHK?
Dresden is like the city where I'm from in Germany, and then HK is, I lived in Hong Kong for a bit. My life, like 2 years when I was in high school. Jeez. And I made all my socials there, So
I feel that.
I was like,
I feel that. Word.
Dope.
Dope. And then Mamek, @Mamek on Instagram.
_Gravy Mixes and gravymixes.com. Also, for everybody, please, we have a website. If you guys got questions, if you have a suggestion for a guest, you can head over to behindthesoundpodcast.com and you can fill out the form there and send us your questions, and also send us some suggestions.
And like and follow.
Yes.
Like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe.
If you rock with the content,
follow.
If you rock with everything. Like and follow.
It helps the show when you guys leave a rating and a review. So please take the time and do that. It is much appreciated. Anyway, y'all, peace.
That's the Behind the Sounds podcast. Peace.
The Behind the Sound podcast was recorded at the Orange Lounge Recording Studio, located downtown Toronto.